Good afternoon and welcome to the briefing from the Board of Directors of Gemfremy Group, which was hosted on Monday, November 30th. My name is Oleg Lipovetsky and I will be translating on behalf of all the speakers today. Valery Ostrikov speaking. Good afternoon, dear colleagues and friends, and today is our traditional briefing, so let's start by discussing the latest video from our developers that was released recently first. We will be posting videos of this nature regularly, discussing the latest additions to the functionality and how our application continues to become more sophisticated with each release. We need your help promoting this video by doing the following. View the full video, which is only a minute and a half long. Leave a like and leave a short comment only about the messenger and its functionality. Then share the video on your social networks, and we thank you for your active participation in advance. Moreover, the next upcoming release will be on December 9th, and it will introduce such great notions as all platforms will receive animated stickers, while the iOS stickers will be stationary at this time with animation to be added in the next release. Categories of channels, simplified rules for naming channels, invitation to calls from the list of contacts and deletion of users from a call, as well as updated list of participants in a group chat and channel, bring up to ear to hear a voice message, and ended due to requests and correction of errors, as well as certain improvements. While the iOS version will be receiving sending media files with comments, editing group and chat profile, hiding extra menus with logos when working in MarketSpace, depiction of mentions in the chat, and transferring files from Gemfremy to third-party applications. Android version will receive depiction and sending, as well as playing audio files and horizontal mode during calls. And the web version will receive updated interface for pinned messages and replies. And the following Gemfremy release will be on December 23rd of 2020. Let's now get to answering the questions that we've received from our partners, as there are quite a lot of them this week. Who are current investors of the company? Any private entity is an investor of our company as part of private placement. We also continue selling Eurobonds to institutional investors from large companies as well. We have two types of shares, shares of a messenger and shares of MarketSpace. It is evident that the project will not be sold in parts and will be sold as one entity. Is there a point in combining both groups of shares in one system with one CCA system? It will be easier to calculate that way. This is a very good question. We have been considering this direction and are currently working on further sophisticating our legal structure to provide even more legal protection to our shareholders. It is of utmost importance that the company's value grows from such a combination, and these are the two main conditions that we are trying to attain at this time. There are 1 million shares left. They can be sold for about 1 to 2 more years, which is a long time. Is there a chance of listing an IPO? If yes, when? In this case, shares can get sold out in a matter of 1 to 2 weeks, or maybe pre-IPO. Why doesn't the company list a public offering? We've had such a previous experience of placing a company for an IPO. Releasing an IPO is a rather costly process, and we do not have the resources, time or financial, to allocate to this endeavor. We have other tools that can generate publicity for our project and increase its capitalization. When will monetary transfers be introduced? Monetary transfers are currently in the process of development, and soon they will be introduced, since acquiring in North America is already available and done, while in various regions of the world the system will work differently. Are any large companies showing any interest in potentially purchasing our project at this time in any way? We do receive offers to either sell the technology itself or a portion of our project. There is lots of interest towards the product, although we are not interested in giving up on our development at this point. Each time it is said that 20 to 30 million of downloads will be achieved this year. It is the end of November. The long-awaited acquirers are now on board, and there is still no breakthrough in terms of downloads. Are we worth the amount that we are aiming for already? WeChat gained major value after acquirers were introduced to it. Our most recent valuation was in June of 2020 for just the messenger portion of the application, and we will also conduct another valuation of both portions of the project once MarketSpace has monetary flows in it from various countries, as that would drastically increase the value as a whole. Connecting acquirers is a breakthrough, and we continue working on connecting more all over the world. Each consecutive valuation is more complicated as there are more items to review. When and at what terms is the new evaluation of the application is planned, including the market space portion? When is market space accepted to be fully completed and a major promotional campaign to be launched? What else must be done to fully finalize the application? We do have our roadmap that depicts our planned development, and we continue following it. All the tasks for the year are depicted on it, and we continue to meet all of the tasks for the messenger portion, while the market space portion has a slight delay due to connecting acquiring at this time. WhatsApp launched functionality similar to MarketSpace. Is it seen as a potential threat to our application, and is there a risk that Viber or Telegram can develop the same notion prior to us finalizing the development and attracting a large amount of users? The market is only forming at this stage. One of the reasons for why we decided to operate in this sector is due to the amount of competition that it has. There cannot be a monopoly, and our functionality can be used all over the world by anyone. There's always a place for a messenger with a built-in marketplace, and there cannot be any one notion as such. There are always alternatives in any market sector. Many companies emerged recently that offer small but continuous earnings from small investments in various financial tools that people invest in and receive daily profits from. Will a render farm be introduced to the millions of smartphones of Messenger users, as rendering services are still in demand? We are always focusing on one item, and if we try to chase all the various tendencies, we will not succeed in any and lose concentration. We chose our path and are succeeding on it and are following it strictly. What does the board of directors think of recent introductions of marketplaces on Facebook and WhatsApp? Is it seen as a negative impact on our project? Competition with such market giants is not beneficial for our application. It is not a guarantee that when a global company works on a new project, it will be successful. We are much more mobile and flexible and are success-oriented, as this is our livelihood and allows us to move even faster. The fact that large companies are developing such notions is great, as the market is becoming more formed, and we are prepared to offer better solutions on this market in terms of functionality and funds. Entrepreneurs from various sectors have discussed several factors that truly influence their willingness to open markets on MarketSpace. Geolocation does not work. We are currently working on fixing this item. When searching for products by name from other regions, products from other regions are shown. Please add an additional section to search everywhere or locally. Regional separation is a task that our developers are working on at this time. When searching, using such words as bread or juice and so on in the search bar, the results were automotive care products, incorrect settings of search criteria. This item will be addressed accordingly, and we do thank you for letting us know. Logistics security are crucial. Entrepreneurs are often dealing with wrong products being returned in other marketplaces. Please add a photo verification of product return similar to other platforms, as merchants are cautious nowadays. Our market-space logistics will be sophisticated enough and will be on par with the current logistical standards in North America today. Since we are an international project, we should enter contracts with mailing services to deliver products with discounted rates. Sending products internationally on normal rates is not financially justified, as at times the shipping cost is higher than the product itself. This is an important notion that we will most definitely have as part of our market space in order to make all commercial activity efficient and profitable for both the merchants and buyers. Entrepreneurs need the following information: searching for markets or transferring to a market via a QR code to view products of a particular market. We have recently decided to increase our team of market-space developers in order to introduce new releases faster and remain in pace with the market, as well as continue introducing cutting-edge solutions to the application, including the QR code aspect that you're referring to. And in conclusion, platforms are taking over the world, and our platform will be no different. Ecosystems are the technology that is in a very high demand today and continue to drive our society to the future. Ecosystems are used daily by billions of people, and our platform will be no different. And on this note, I would like to thank you for your time and your questions, as these were all the notions that I wanted to cover today. I am now passing the word to Alexander Kuchanovsky, the member of the Board of Directors. Alexander Kuchanovsky speaking. Good afternoon, dear colleagues and friends, and let's now continue our conference with some traditional news, and I will also answer some of the questions that we've received, and we'll discuss the traditional weekly news thereafter. Starting December 1st, we will have a specified instructional and educational course for the partners to better help them start in our project. It is highly detailed and is broken down in many different aspects and notions, targeting daily aspects of our partners' work and how to become successful in the project. It is not just a theoretical, but also a practical session that will teach new partners to not make mistakes and will sophisticate their efficient work. If you are new to the project and are seeking to improve your work and earn more, be sure to join this session and we will be happy to help you prosper. Let's also answer some additional questions that we received over the course of recent weeks. Please specify what is the point of listing one's Gem4Me nickname in the business center of Gem4Me. We've had a PR activity program for our partners previously. This is not mandatory to do, while further integrating our business center and Gem4Me application for productivity purposes will always be helpful. Please specify how many active stores are in MarketSpace currently. Also, please discuss the growth tendencies since acquiring was introduced in North America. Thank you. At this time, we have more than 1,000 active markets, and all the markets in CIS countries and Russia at this time are awaiting the introduction of acquiring in order to start selling their products and services there. North American region is currently operating in MarketSpace and products and services are able to be purchased. We are also grateful for your feedback as it helps us to better improve the platform prior to introducing it for mass use all over the world. ICQ Messenger has recently surpassed us. Just in September, they had more than 10 million of downloads and now more than 50. Why are we not launching a promotional campaign? Firstly, ICQ is a long-forgotten messenger from early 2000s, although if it did achieve these numbers, that is a great sign. For that, if an old and forgotten messenger is able to achieve such numbers, then it is evident that the market is still not fully conquered and there is still lots of space for a new application like ours. We have not launched our advertising campaign as we are still improving the functionality of the application itself prior to launching a large campaign all over the world. Will there be an instructional video from the developers on how to use video conferences, video calls, sharing, streaming, and all the other notions of the application? Yes, all of these aspects are being prepared in separate videos to help you in using the features mentioned, although our developers are working hard on making our application logistically sound so you don't need instructions and you can just use it with no help. In order to articulate in the marathon, can I also add another biz package to my shares? Then I would have a premium package. Or do I have to separately purchase a premium package? This is a marathon that was launched by our top leader, Edward Vitko, and since not everyone is participating in the marathon, we've already answered the partner in private. While we encourage those who are interested in the marathon to contact Edward Vitko directly for more information. Furthermore, below are several questions pertaining to recent presentation by Vadim Komarov for Gem4Me MarketSpace investors on November 11th. When a shareholder gave an example of an evaluation, the board of directors replied that the price of shares will be known after the shareholders are distributed by the CCA classes of shares. There needs to be more clarity in this regard for potential and current investors, as the more people transfer to higher classes of CCA, the more diluted the price of shares will be. Can the board of directors tell us how many shareholders own current sold shares each quarter? Can the percentage distribution of shares with CCA be announced each quarter, as it is important? There is also a hypothetical example of the sale of the application for €1 billion divided by 14 million of issued shares equals €71 per share to estimate the profits from the sale by classes of shares in the presentation on November 11th. During a recent presentation, it was mentioned that almost 300 shareholders are close to VIP 5,000. If assuming that they are all owning 5,000 shares, then 1.5 million shares times €71 times CCA 10 Then they will be receiving more than €1 billion each, in which case there will be more any funds left for the rest of the shareholders. Of course, the average value of one share should be lower based on CCA class distribution, as these class numbers are confusing. Assuming that an average CCA of all the 14 million shares issued is 2, then in the examples provided, each €1 billion from the sale would generate an average value of one share to be 1 billion divided by 28 million euro, as it is the total coefficient of CCA 14 million times 2, and the average price assumed as a class will be 35.70 euro in order for the distribution to be within €1 billion amount. Two aspects relating to this big question. Firstly, our regulator that maintains the share count does not have a legal right to release the share class distribution and can only release the amount of shares left. Custodians are following the strict European legislature that prohibits this notion in terms of classes of shares. Regarding the theoretical calculations raised in this question, we are unable to determine the sale amount of the project, whether it is $1 billion or $10 billion or even more. And there will be an average value of a share, and the value of share for shareholders with CCA 10 will be 10 times higher than for shareholders with CCA 1. This is achieved via simple mathematical calculation, and the total value of shares will be determined by the sale amount and the distribution of shareholders by the classes of shares that we have. Investors with CCA 10 will have a higher value to their shares than compared to investors with CCA 1. And last question. How have our investments grown over the last 3 to 4 years? There is no definite answer, as we can't say we bought shares for €60 each and now at one share being worth €71. Please provide at least one evaluation with market space to help better understand this notion. We do not have the legal right to announce and promise any guaranteed profitability on investments, and we don't know the final value, but we can estimate our worth based on similar projects in the market today. In general, all investments can be separated in 3 main classes. Banks, where your investment will yield from 0.5 to 2% annually depending on the establishment and the country that it is in. Next investment category is shares, precious metals, and the stock market. Assets that have precise depiction. For instance, Tesla and American Airlines. Companies that list their IPO where you are able to track how your investment is doing in real time, and this is a high stress and high risk investment. And lastly, there's venture investment category. In this category, people invest in companies that do not have an IPO and the price of share is unknown. They invest a certain amount in hopes that their values will grow, and that is how it was with WhatsApp, Viber, and many other projects similar to that. For example, Jim Getz invested $60 million in WhatsApp, and one day he woke up to his investment turning into $3 billion, growing 5,000%. A growth that is never feasible in any bank or on the stock market. This is what venture investments are, and we are unable to depict live investment depiction, but we are working on venture investment sector with its own laws. Let's now continue our conference with some traditional news, as there are currently 12,684 of current users of our application. As part of our generous referral program, each week we summarize the results of the earnings and work conducted and the weekly earnings of those active partners. As you can see, the geography of those partners is widespread over the course of last week, including Indonesia and many other countries. Let's congratulate 32 partners from 7 countries with earnings of more than €1,000, 16 partners from 6 countries with more than €2,000, 8 partners from 6 countries with more than €3,000, and 5 partners from 4 countries with more than €5,000 in a matter of just 1 week. And our top earning partner of last week earned €8,400, as these are the profitability rates of our project for those partners who wish to earn not just when the project is finished and is sold, but also while it is currently being developed. Let's make these amounts more frequent over the course of this winter, and we are confident that this is the time when big amounts can be earned. Let's now continue our conference by discussing the latest promotions that are in effect at this time, while some of the promotions are coming to an end at the end of December after 4 months of being available. Firstly, the remaining amount of shares is decreasing rather fast, so be sure to take advantage of getting some at the prices that are current, as they are growing each week. The cryptocurrency cashback promotion is still available for your use. The Maximized Advantages promotion for your advantage is still available and can be used while the amount of complimentary shares will be decreasing continuously and will be ending on December 31st. Don't forget of our CCA 10 Powerful Surrounding promotion, which is also still available, although it is also coming to an end on December 31st. It is very profound and is still available for your use. And the recently introduced Make Your Career by the End of the Year promotion that will last until the end of this year to further advance you on the career ladder is still available. Please note, the green color depicts the amount of shares that investors receive today for closing new career qualifications for all the steps, while the yellow depicts the new and changed amounts through this marvelous promotion. As you can see, previously you would receive an additional 810 shares for closing all the career steps, and now that number is much higher to further motivate your hard work. So be sure to take this extremely rare chance and boost your career. The bonus for the New Year promotion is also coming to an end, so be sure to take advantage of these profitable conditions while they are available. As mentioned before, the prices of shares are increasing each week, which you can see depicted on the slide here. As of November 24th, the prices of all packages increased by 3% and will be continuously increasing by 1% thereafter, while starting December 1st, they are now 4% higher. Familiarize yourself with this table to be aware of the upcoming changes. And lastly, we are all excited for the end of the year of 2020 to be coming, and we are announcing the traditional New Year's lottery with marvelous prizes to celebrate it, for buyers and their personal sponsors to test their luck and celebrate the end of this year. The lottery will be conducted in 5 stages, and we wish everyone luck in the great New Year's lottery. In conclusion, buyers of large packages also receive an encouraging amount of shares depicted on the slide. This will only last from November 30th through December 31st of 2020, and the shares are for buyers of large packages and their sponsors. And on this note, I would like to thank you for your time. We wish you profound weeks full of big earnings and accomplishments, and until we meet next time.